I never quite realized how burdened I was until I met you. The threat of the Shadow Curse, the politics of the Grove. I was forgetting who I was. But you lifted the fog. Thank you. You're too modest. I wager you don't even know how extraordinary you truly are. But I do. I have lived a very long time. I have taken many lovers. My heart does not stir lightly. But it does now. Like I said, I've lived a long time, traveled far and wide. I've lain with elf maidens under the boughs of oaks. I've had a Neeland the pirate claw my back and cry my name until he was hoarse. And I've been to the Underdark. Many times. I want more than to fight at your side, or sit around the campfire with you. I want to lay with you under the stars and feel your skin against mine. I think you feel the same way. Once the power of the Shadow Curse was broken, the connection was undeniable. We both felt it. But tell me I'm wrong, and the matter can rest. I do not wish to sour our friendship, but I have to know if it can be something more. You have bonded with Astarion, body and soul. His scent lingers on your skin. If there is to be anything between us, it must be with his consent. And perhaps someday, his participation. I understand. And I still cherish our relationship. Still, I could not have forgiven myself had I not taken the plunge. Better to have tried and failed.
Elminster?
Oh, hello, my boy. No, don't mind me. I'm just enjoying a lungful of Baldurian air. Yes, a distinctive aroma, though perhaps not one worthy of bottling. I hear you've been browsing in the most esteemed of emporiums, sorcerous sundries. Indulge my curiosity. What wonders did you discover there? I trusted he would be sensible enough to exercise caution in this matter and to seek the truth. By now, you are aware of the evil we are up against. Cassus' pestilent crown, the very tool with which its eponymous creator unmade an empire and magic itself. Perhaps now you understand what is at stake here, my boy. Though what Mr. asked of you was extreme, it was not without merit, nor demanded lightly.
What are you saying? Or rather, what are you not saying?
Mistra knows you defied her, Gale. Of course she knows. She's Mistra. She bids you come to her holy shrine in the Stormshore Tabernacle. There, she will grant you an audience at last. I see remaining optimistic is my duty, especially when I'm not the one being asked to do the seemingly impossible. Trust in yourself. Trust in the weave. If you are willing, trust in Mistra. There is a conclusion yet to be written in this sorry tale, Gale of Waterdeep. And yours is the quill that will write it.
Go ahead. I'm listening. I regret many things in my life. Choosing to be here, intact and unexploded, is not one of them. Though the orb still seems to offer our best hope of destroying the brain, I retain some hope that another, less costly solution can be found. For now, to have a few more days in your company, no. I wouldn't change a thing. I've often asked myself the same question, and never really found a satisfactory answer. You clearly see something in me that I can't. The wisdom and intelligence required to overcome almost insurmountable odds, perhaps? Or the stupidity required to attempt it. I take it as a compliment either way. You don't get to be 13 centuries old without becoming a sound judge of character. And cheese, apparently.
I've had my eye on you. Hot as brimstone, jagged as lightning, and seething like the river Styx. But there's something missing, isn't there? You're hungry for pleasures beyond this plane, something more satisfying than mortal flesh, blood, and bone. Oh, but do hear me out. You want what I have to offer. The ecstasy of agony, the pain of the damned, distilled into pure bliss. Beyond every climax you've known, the little death writ large. Smile, and I'll come to you when you put your head down to rest. I will sate your most forbidden lusts. Or don't, and know the eternal ache of the unknown and the unanswered. Dear me, I've overestimated you. Trust me, I shan't be making that mistake again. Ta-ta.
The book radiates power, but the words you read in the codex echo in your mind, guiding your eyes safely across the page. The once indecipherable glyphs now feel dangerously familiar, promising unholy power to those who can take it. As you pass the strange glyphs, you can feel the book resisting. Ghostly voices whisper at you from the dark, probing and fighting your mind. But your will is iron, and you brush past these shades of the past, devouring every secret the book has to offer. You see now life and death are malleable as clay, to be bent and reshaped by your will, by your power. But as you close the book, a nagging doubt whispers in your mind. What consequences will there be for calling the dead from their rest?
So all it took to get Mystra's attention was to learn how to reforge an artifact that once destroyed her. It's obvious when you stop to think about it. The Weave is a highly sensitive, magical network threaded through all life on this plane. Any shift in magical energy, no matter how small, is akin to a beacon, alerting Mystra to its cause. Opening a book, like the Annals of Carsus, was akin to us shooting a firework spelling, "Look at us, Mystra," directly into the skies of Elysium. She knows. This is a conversation that's long overdue on both sides. I owe it to her to hear her out. Come what may afterwards. After you.
There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mystra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic. It sets your teeth on edge.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mystra, wherever she may be.
Your goddess calls. Serve her or denounce her as you will, but you cannot ignore her.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mistra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Am I? You're right. I am a strong, capable wizard. And this is no more than a casual reunion with an ex-lover. My omnipotent, omniscient ex-lover. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm going to have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. The summoning channel Mistra has provided is one only I can enter. No matter how much I prefer not to face her alone. You're right. A heartfelt apology is the surest way to a goddess's heart and her favor. I pray that she'll be in a forgiving mood. If she weren't the one, I'd be praying too. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep. You look well.
Mistra. I never thought we'd speak again like this. Why am I here?
There is much unsaid between us, but time runs ever short. You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
I didn't want to die. And when I saw the crown, I thought I might not have to, if I only understood its power.
And you believe you have the right to such an understanding? The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite Weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
That can't be. It wasn't. It couldn't have been. I only wished to prove myself worthy. I had no idea.
You were already worthy. What you lacked was patience, and it cost you dearly. When the Karsite Weave entered your body, your gifts were the first thing it consumed. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
I won't let you down again. When the Absolute is vanquished, I will surrender Karsus's powers to you. You have my word.
Thank you. May the Weave's light guide your purpose, and its wisdom guide your hand. The future of magic rests on your shoulders, Gale of Waterdeep. I promise you, it is a burden you are strong enough to bear.
Back on mortal soil once more. I can't believe I saw her. After all this time. Relieved. Drained. Proud of myself for summoning the courage to go to her in the first place. And, if I'm being totally honest, a bit lightheaded. As if it wasn't enough to have seen her again. She didn't exactly summon me there for small talk. The Karsite weave. Within me this whole time. I knew the orb was no ordinary ball of magic before it to be Karsus's malignant creation. Gods! How did I not see that? True enough. There's a reason such unwitting heroes have been the backbone of lyric and legend for as long as both have existed. Even so, I was hardly some naive apprentice at the time. I considered myself an archmage, and yet was fool enough to be mistaken for a common conjurer. At least now I'm armed with the truth, and Mystra's expectations. Once I bring the crown of Karsus to her, I can put everything right. The orb, too. I'll be myself again, for all that's worth. I don't know. It's been so long since I dared to imagine an end to the orb's hunger. But I start thinking about it, hadn't I? Imagine being able to picture one's life ending in something other than a cataclysmic explosion. What a treat. If I could promise you one thing in return for your faith in me, it's this. I will use everything in my power to ensure we defeat this evil. I will not let you down.
Gale reminds me of the Vremyonoi of my homeland. The man-mages of Rashiman. While the girl folk go on to rule as Wiklarin, we've touched boys were hidden away. Trained to work their craft in silence and secrecy. It is an old custom, not well observed. In truth, I thought it born of caution, after some catastrophe wrought by wizardly menfolk of old. Now I wonder if it was not done to hide them from Mystra, and the snares she sets for young and prideful boys, Though this suggests that Mystra has never tempted a witch into foolishness. Not that I would blaspheme by suggesting otherwise. I forget why I began this long and winding story. Yes, Boo, we have been spending too long around the wizard.
Gale is a better man than most, to choose what is right, even after what Mystra asked of him. Me? I think I would have tugged the great goddess's hair a bit first.
It seems Gale has made amends with Mystra. I see this as a good omen for what awaits us.
This crown seems too powerful and dangerous an object for mere mortals to possess. Too dangerous even for Mystra. But I would sooner trust it with a god than a man.
It seems Gale has made amends with Mystra. Good for him. Though, I don't see any such reconciliation between myself and Shah anytime soon.
I do not trust Mystra to do right with the crown, but I think I trust Gale even less. He should give it to her and be done with it, or his lust for power might well consume him.
Wow. Gale is the chosen of Mystra. Congrats to him, I think. Hope he knows what he's doing. We haven't fared very well with other chosen so far.
So, Gale's agreed to be a good boy and hand the crown over to Mystra. I can't say I would have made the same call, but each their own.
Wonderful little beast. Nimble as anything.
A man of means, judging by his attire. He looks like a merchant or a junior council member. But right now he's without care, entranced by a tree.
There was a squirrel in the tree. Marvellous creature. Inquisitive and nut-crazed. Give it time. I had to wait for, I don't even know how long to catch a glimpse. You wouldn't happen to know where I live, would you? I am very pleased to meet your acquaintance. And you are?
This is more than a lapse, you sense. Something's been done to the man's memories. The man's mind is a stream of fragmented thoughts, each brushed away by another before it can take purchase.
Marvellous day. Not a care in the world. Moira would have loved this garden. Wait, who's she? Moira? Yes. No. I don't know. I think I remember a face, smiling, young, then older, then ill, then... No, I don't think so. You must be mistaken, friend. I don't know anyone by that name. Well, I remember I was sad, but in truth, I'm not quite sure what caused it. I'm not even sure I know what sad is anymore. And I came from that building over there. They were very nice to me, seemed very helpful. Though, for the life of me, I can't recall what I was doing there in the first place. There must be, you would think. You know, I can swear there is someone, but their name escapes me. Hells, even their face escapes me. A figment of my imagination, perhaps. Oh, it will come back to me. Or not. I'm content enough here, in either case.
That graffiti from before. I never thought I'd see it again. Well, I think I was the one who did it. I can recognize my own handwriting. How long ago was this? Years? All the time I spent training, hidden away from the world. I think I must have wanted to leave my mark somewhere. Just to prove I existed. Even to myself.
Welcome to the House of Grief. Or perhaps welcome is the wrong word, Shadowheart. There's been some debate whether you'd even show up and face the consequences of your actions. I assumed you tried to flee, like a craven.
Spare me your venom. I'm sure the Mother Superior will have plenty of her own.
All in due time. This is a place of healing. Anyone who partook in our methods did so willingly, and left with a smile on their face, freed from their troubles. Would you accuse a surgeon of robbing a tumor? I think not. As I said, in due time. First, you submit to the mapping of the heart. Only then can we know what is to be done with you. This is the House of Grief. We strive to help those whose hearts have grown heavy, be it with anger, melancholy, grief, or treachery. Submit to the mapping and reveal what lurks in your heart. If you consent, follow me. If you do not, leave.
You seek to be unburdened, yes? The mapping of the heart can reveal the way. Yet, there is another here whose need is great.
That voice. Allow me. I think I'm supposed to do this.
Do you know why you are here?
There is something I lost. No. Had taken from me. My family. My life. I want it all back.
Loss is a gift, girl. Do you still not understand that? Now give me the true answer. What is your purpose in being here? I am the one who asks the questions. She is the one who answers. You are the one who remains silent. Now, if all our roles are clear, answer me. What is your true purpose?
The artifact. I was sent to retrieve it. At any cost.
And who tasked you with this mission?
The Mother Superior of Shah. It's you.
Give me the honor of my name. In full.
I can't. My memories.
I know what's in that head of yours better than you do, girl. My name.
Mother Superior. Viconia de Veer.
You still have the wits to recognize your betters. Good.
Viconia de Veer. If only Shar would bless me with the forgetting of your face.
You? Who would have recognized your foul scent, if not for all this evil Sharan incense?
Always a pleasure to see old acquaintances. But you would be wise to not interfere in what is to come. Now descend. You have much to answer for.
An astral projection. Cunning of her. Not to mention untrusting.
They already heard how you disgraced yourself before Lady Shah. How she marked you as the enemy. But it is quite another thing for them to see it for themselves. I am very glad you decided to return. A cautionary tale such as yours will be studied by Lady Shah's initiates for years to come. But perhaps I can make a case for some small measure of mercy. Give me the artifact, and I can at least make this quick.
Enough. I don't answer to you. Not anymore. I'm here for my family. That's right. I know what you did. And it's not going to be quick.
This is your family. And now you have turned your back on it. The artifact was your last chance to prove yourself. And you squandered it. Such misplaced camaraderie. How about this? Surrender this one to me, now, and you can leave freely. And consider Lady Shah's forces your allies in the battles to come. As you like. Lilala! For Shah!
Shadowheart? I wasn't sure if I'd ever lay eyes on you again. It's me, Nocturne. Do you remember?
Remind me?
We trained together. We used to be close. I'm glad to see you're all right.
I don't remember you.
Oh. A pity. Perhaps we can talk some more later? That is, if you're not about to turn on me. It seems you no longer walk in the Dark Lady's shadow.
Shah condemned me. By her decree, you and I are enemies.
Only if you wish us to be. You may not remember, but we shared a lot together once. Good times. Hard times. I will not turn on you, even if it angers Lady Shah.
That's good enough for me. I'm not sure what I expected coming back to this place. Certainly not a friend. There must be all sorts you can tell me. Things I can't even remember.
There are, but with the Mother Superior gone, I don't know if I can stay here to reminisce. Perhaps there's another enclave out there for me.
You don't need Shah.
You don't, perhaps. Not everyone is as brave. I'll leave come tomorrow. Come see me before then. I was working as quartermaster. I can sell you some things to aid you. And we can catch up.
This place is miserable, even for the house of a god.
I sometimes wondered if Viconia had returned to the Underdark. But instead, she brought her sordid little patch of darkness to the city with her.
Even with the shadow curse gone, Shah's presence blooms everywhere. No doubt her teachings have found a strong purchase amongst the city's populace.
I feel odd. My memories feel more like dreams, or stories I've half overheard.
I seem to have forgotten myself there.
Boo is overjoyed with our victory. Another den of evil vanquished, and an old foe defeated. Well, Viconia was a friend for a short time beforehand, but then a foe once more. Yes, Boo, a most wicked witch. The very mention of her name gives him nightmares to this day. Do not be afraid, Boo. She is not here. And you, bite your tongue until your eyes water and your hairs curl. Boo and Minsk have traveled far and wide, and met many fine and not so fine people. It will surprise you to learn that even the wisest of friends do not always recognize Boo for what he is. Exactly! The Drow was a cruel witch, but a clever one. She knew what Boo was right away, and she had never seen his like before. She wished to inspect his handsome magnificence, and so she did. One night, while he lay asleep, twitching his whiskers in happy dreams, she crept upon his tiny bedroll holding a knife as slim as a toothpick. She meant to spill his miniature guts and study them. I did not get the chance. Boo never sleeps deeply while evil is near. He sprang into action and almost blinded the witch. She had fled from our camp by morning, when Boo told me the whole tale over a breakfast of berries and nuts.
This is it. Where I was raised. Trained. Held. It's strange to be back. My parents are still captive. I need to free them.
It can't be. Another vile trick.
No. There is no trick. It's her. Jennifer. Jen. Our little girl.
Moon Maiden's grace. It is you.
I'm here to get you out of here. They're all gone. It's over.
It is not over. You see, it matters not if you raise this place. If you slay every one of your brothers and sisters. That was never where my power resided. Every time you try to step away from me, every time you try to reach for Selûne, my hold on you bites deeper. If you had learned, if you had obeyed, there would be no pain. But you struggle on. You will make things worse for yourself. And for them. Victory. Your victory is but a guttering candle in the dark. Temporary. Inconsequential.
Enough! I'm taking taking my parents away from here. I'm taking them away from you!
You cannot. We are still bound to you. You cannot both free us and free yourself from her curse. The Moon Maiden needs you more than she needs us. You are the future. You must return to the fold. We are the past. And our duty is almost done.
Eloquently put. His mind stood up well to his time here. The same cannot be said for your mother. Such brief, fragile lives humans lead. This is my final lesson. I leave you now to dwell on your mistakes and make your choice.
Shah's parting words make your flesh crawl. There is no lesson to be learned here, only a family's torment, a spiteful goddess's whims, and an unspeakable choice to be made.
She's gone. I don't understand.
Shah will never admit defeat. Not until she has stolen one last thing from you. We cannot allow your future to be her last prize. Not after all your mother and I have endured. To see you again. Your companion understands, I think. Help her, please. Help her see what must be done.
No, I can't. I came here for them.
And you did. You found us. All these years, that dream kept us going. That you would break free. No matter what they made you do to us, we knew you were still in there.
I knew the Dark Woods wouldn't frighten you. You were always such a brave girl.
She was, and still is. You've saved us. Now save yourself. You'll be out of Shah's reach, and we'll be at peace.
But I only just found you again after all this time. I can't lose you again.
We'll still be with you. By the Moon Maiden's grace, we'll never be far. Please, Jennifer.
Is this truly what you want?
It is what we need. All of us. You were meant to be a guiding light for Seluna's faithful, but they robbed you from us. Now that can be righted, and we can rest.
Help us, Jen. I can let go. Now I've seen your face again.
Goodbye.
Not goodbye. Not even close.
Don't be. They're free now. As am I. And part of them is still here with me. Let's leave this place. There's nothing more for me here. Shadowheart, still. I can't run away from who I was all this time. Besides, there's something fitting to it. Can't cast a shadow without some light.
A huge polished disc looms before you. A mirror, but one that offers no reflection. All you see is a void of endless darkness.
This feels familiar to me somehow. I'm sure I've stood before this mirror before. Many times, perhaps.
A mirror of loss. A relic said to be as old as the Church of Shah itself. Those who stood before it could surrender their very thoughts and memories to the Lady of Loss. Great powers rest within the realm of the mirror, to be granted at the Dark Lady's whim to those making a suitable offering. A piece of themselves.
My parents. I saw them. Spoke to them. And let them go. It's It's more than I can take in just now. Give me a night to try and get my head together.
Ever will Shar try to twist bonds of love into chains of service. Shadowheart did not let her. I cannot presume to know her parents, or what they suffered. But I know that they were proud, in the end.
Shadowheart's memories will be a heavy load for her to carry. But her suffering is over, and so is her parents'. I hope she finds comfort in that.
What we did might feel an evil thing, I know. But if Minsk was not saved from the cult, was used to hurt those who only meant to help him, I think that ending Minsk might have been a way of saving Minsk too.
I'm so glad Shadowheart's ordeal is over. It'll be a long time before she'll come to terms with all this, but at least now, she can start. Free of Shar.
A cruel task fell to Shadowheart. But she did as her parents wished. She has my eternal respect. And I hope she soon finds peace.
It is no small thing to slay one's life-bringers. Shadowheart did what was right, not what was easy.
Shadowheart's parents are at peace. And so she, it seems.
That little hideaway that we found in the cloister, it almost felt like I'd found a piece of my childhood. A childhood I don't truly remember. But remember it or not, I felt right at home there. Surrounded by books and night orchids. Well, can you imagine what it would have been like growing up in that place? Endless training, no privacy, facing scorn wherever I looked. I can very easily imagine I needed somewhere to escape to, if I was to survive. Nocturne and I must have come here a lot. We probably had plenty we wanted to hide from. Anyway, I think that little hideaway helped shape who I am, as much as any sermon or training did. Funny the things that influence you. Most are lost forever. Some may creep back into my mind if I encounter anything that helps clear the fog. Then there's what Shar did restore to me. Memories of pain, suffering, both my own and what I inflicted. It's overwhelming. Like a lifetime's worth of nightmares unleashed all at once upon waking. I can barely untangle one moment from another, not that I even want to. I just know that my heart sinks if I let my thoughts wander to them. Perhaps. But in the meanwhile, I'll just have to find a way to live with them. Shar seeks to break people, to fill their lives with despair so that they will turn to her for relief. Perhaps she thought this would lead me back to her in time. But it won't. I fought too hard to win my freedom. I will not give it up again, no matter how much it hurts. Of course. From the first time I laid eyes on you right until now. That's all safe. I wouldn't surrender even a moment of it.
You will grow to like Jahira's incense in time. Like chewing herbs and soap, yes? Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures. You come in search of stories. It is not yet time to tuck Boo in for the night, but very well. After our adventurings with the Ballspawn, Boo had had his fill of godly flesh. So, we returned to Baldur's Gate for a time. After all, in every city there is a sweaty underbelly, crying out for a virtuous scrubbing. None better to wield a brush than Minsk and Boo. Perhaps we rubbed some villain's rump a little too raw. This Minsk does not know. One moment we stood in the city slums, the next, ambush! Then Minsk and Boo woke on the wide with stone dust in sensitive places. The mind of Minsk was occupied with important matters. I was browsing a slum vendor's stall, looking for Boo's favorite nuts. And then I was stolen. For Minsk, those years passed as quick as a hiccup. It was long ago, then it is now. I do not like these metal men on the streets, or the villains who hide behind them. But the new world is not so different to the old one. The city still clings to the hill. The sea still stretches on forever. And the stench of evil still makes Boo wish for a tiny peg on his nose. As long as that stench remains, no matter how old or young the world is, Minsk and Boo will not rest. Countless tales are told of Boo and Minsk. Many of them are so outlandish that even I do not know if they are true. Did Minsk bravely fend off the seductive vials of a succubus in the cloisters of Candlekeep? Maybe. Did he take a bath in the river Styx and temporarily forget himself? I do not remember. Did he travel with a spawn of the god of murder, who warred against his evil brethren and battled triumphantly at the throne of Baal itself? Of course! It was a splendid adventure. The bards sing of fallen gods and mighty battles, but that is a small part of any saga. They do not sing of the times in between, when Saravak's butt had been kicked so hard that we thought he would never return. We settled in Baldur's Gate for a while. Gorian's Ward, Imoen, Jahira, Minsk, Boo, and Dinah here. My witch. She hated the city at first. Too busy, she said. Too noisy. Too many people. She complained of the smell. Although she complained of Boo's smell too, and he smells of fresh honey cakes, so Minsk believes her nose was confused. Then, one day, we walked past a shop full of wonders. Tiny magics fizzed in the air, and wizards from every corner of the world bickered and bartered. Sorcery sundries. Dinah here fell in love. Dragged poor Minsk there every day, and made them stand watch while she browsed the shelves. Minsk frowned and complained. He felt more like a babysitter than a berserker. But how Dinah here smiled. Not long after, Minsk and Boo were captured, and Dinah here was dead. Oh, I would gladly be a babysitter again to see her smile. That is what I remember. More than any battles against Baal and his spawn. Yes, Boo, I know you miss her too. Boo says the tadpole thrives on our misery. To think dark thoughts is only to feed the darkness. It pleases Minsk more to sour its stomach with good thoughts, or better yet, not to think at all. With this in mind, Minsk thinks he has gathered enough fluff from gazing at his navel for the moment, no?
Doesn't look like anyone's been here in a while. Perhaps people lost faith. Or forgot about it. I wanted to come here to see if I felt anything that I hadn't done before. Now that I know what I know. Now that I know who I am. Loss. Actual loss, not Shah's oblivion. I had my family. For too short a moment. Now they're gone. by my hand. I remember. But they can't comfort me. They can't give me advice. They can't tell me what I was like as a little girl. We carry on. It's all we can do. I'll follow in a while. I think I want to stay here a little longer, firstly. This place isn't familiar, but it's peaceful. Shadowheart. She's as much a part of who I am as Jennifer. Can't just forget her. It's not what I do anymore. Besides, Shadowheart still suits me. Even better than before, perhaps. You can't cast a shadow without some light.
Are you looking for ghosts too? Not sure what to make of it all, to be honest.
Stand back. I can't have laymen disrupting the ephemeral intricacies of the spirit field.
If you're looking for ghosts, you can be sure there's absolutely none of those here.
A good day to you, sir. I apologize, but Lady Janeth is not currently welcoming visitors. If you are here with regards to her recent marriage, you may leave any gifts or warm wishes with me, and I will ensure she receives them. Forgive me. As you can hear, Lady Janeth is indisposed at present. Please come back another time. I assure you, absolutely nothing untoward is happening inside. Lady Janeth wishes for some time alone with her new spouse and has sent her staff on holiday accordingly. Ordinarily, no. Though such generosity would not be out of character. But in this instance, I fear she has other motivations. Motivations I will not talk about. In ordinary circumstances, I'd appreciate her generosity more fully, but, well, I prefer to be here for when she changes her mind. Were you to try and enter, there'd be nothing I could do to stop you. After all, I am on holiday. Do as you wish.
Oscar, if you're still in there, listen to my voice. This is not you. Please let me help you.
All I hear is the grunting of a swine. Come closer so I can rip out your filthy tongue.
Stop this. I love you, Oscar, and I know you love me.
It's your gold I love, hogwife. But all the riches in Faerun would not be enough to make a life with you worth living.
Oh, gods aid me. He does not mean the things he says. You! Help subdue him, but be gentle. He's not to blame. Now, not that I'm ungrateful for your help, but... Wait. Your face is familiar to me. Yes, I've seen it before in Oscar's sketches. You're the one who saved him from the Zentarim. I imagine this must be quite a shock. Hardly the Oscar you remember. Not long after the wedding, he lost his appetite, fell into dark moods. He started to avoid my company entirely. Artistic temperament, I thought, but it worsened. He became violent. Called me some rather imaginative names. I hesitate to say it. Something unnatural has taken hold of him. Oscar has been possessed. I used to be. Now I'm his wife. We married not a 10-day ago. Things have changed rather a lot since then. I can't come within arm's reach without him trying to strangle me. And he calls me such vile things. It hates everyone, but it loathes me. It's not him. I know he would never hurt me. And I promised I would let no harm come to him. As you can see, I've already failed. It's obvious he needs more help than I can give. Please, you saved him once. You must find a way to cure him. Oscar's behavior began to change shortly after the wedding. He became withdrawn, working obsessively up in his atelier. I tried to take him some food, but I couldn't cross the threshold. It was as though the house itself didn't want me up there. Whatever this thing is, it doesn't want anyone going up there. I swear it's in the walls, watching.
You can smell that, right? Bloody rotten it is.
Oh, don't worry about the smell, citizen. Probably just the drains. Nothing to concern yourself with.
Set into the mansion's faded exterior, you see the faintest outline of a door. An entrance designed to provide the utmost discretion. The door pulses with a heavy, melancholic magic. Whatever lies behind it concerns the living and the dead. You sense it waits for the right words. It requires permission to open. The door shudders. It has no choice but to let you inside.
You do not have an appointment. Yet you seek an audience with Mr. Carrion. I sense you too like to wander the boundaries between life and death. You have read the Necromancy of Thay. Tell me, what brings one of such power into the presence of Mr. Carrion? That depends on what torments you. Love, vengeance, regret. The dead can be put to all sorts of purposes in the hands of one adept at their manipulation. I am a spirit medium. One who wanders the hazy boundaries of mortality, bearing the intentions of the living and the knowledge of the dead. You possess some aptitude in that regard, but I'm afraid you aren't of the caliber required to be one of my regular clients. Only a very select few, taken from the highest reaches of society. I find them to be far more appreciative of my services than the average mourner, and far more generous in paying for them. Whatever the customer desires, or at least whatever they can afford. Each brings their own desperation. Some crave a word of solace. Some wish to see, to summon, to torment. I provide for them all, according to their merit. You are not deserving of such a gift. Unless you've some other purpose here, our consultation is at an end. The painter, yes, I remember. He wanted to contact a tormented spirit. I gave him exactly what he desired, and for a pittance, given the complexity of his request. His inability to follow simple instructions is hardly my fault. If he wanted his safety guaranteed, that would have cost him extra. My clients are guaranteed absolute privacy in their consultations with myself and my spirits. I assume you came to me seeking an exorcism? I can provide you with the means to perform such a ceremony, but you understand, this is my livelihood. First, you must do something for me. Do not worry. It is of an earthly nature. It regards a conduit of mine, Thrombo, who has recently deserted his duties. He has not gone far, but given the sensitivity of his nature, I would prefer that he is not free to roam the city. Return Thrombo's body to me, then I will give you what you need to cleanse Oscar of his spectral interloper. My child, that would be asking the impossible. He is already dead. He is... what do they call them here? A zombie. A waif I rescued from the jaws of death and gave a second chance at earthly purpose. If he does not value the gift I gave in reanimating that wretched flesh of his, then I will take it back. It is my property, not his. Had I thought you were the type to shout his name from the rooftops, I would never have offered you the job. Thrombo is not alone in his ingratitude. He has led others in my service astray. 3 of them, beggars and zombies alike. The others lack even Thrombo's modicum of intelligence. It should be no great task to wring his location from one of them. Then, with the spirits herein our witnesses, the arrangement is made. They will follow your progress with great interest. As will I.
Changed your mind? Offer's still there. Go on. Have a swing.
You recall where you've smelled this beggar's rotten musk before. In Mystic Carrion's chambers. This is one of his runaway servants.
Carrion sent you. Shit. Don't think about trying anything. I'll fight back. I suppose that's all right. Thrombo's more of a talker than I am. Thrombo was going to get us a boat, but I haven't heard from him since. He must be somewhere near the water. I just hope he didn't drown.
Sister was always good at hiding, but I'll find her this time.
You recall where you've smelled this beggar's rotten musk before. In Mystic Carrion's chambers. This is one of the runaways he seeks.
Thrombo said not to tell anyone where we went. You were playing too? You must be nice, like Thrombo. He told me what to do, but he said it very quickly. I didn't understand. All I remember is down the stairs, across the sand, down the stairs, across the sand.
What are you doing in here?
The man's stench is unmistakable. Death, decay, despair. This must be Thrumbo, the runaway mystic carrion was so eager for you to retrieve.
This is my spot. Go on, find your own. Mystic Carrion, you're working for him? Oh no. No. I knew he wouldn't let us leave in peace. You don't have to help him. He's the one you should be after, not me. Not by choice. Me and my friends, we were beggars. Used to sleep down near the docks when the Fists were on patrol. Carrion found us down there. He murdered us. Made us like this. Monsters. Fit for gutting and grinding and desecrating the dead. He constantly abuses us. Makes us do the worst things you can imagine. There used to be 5 of us. My friend Talus, he couldn't take it anymore. One day, I saw him drive a coffin nail right through Carrion's skull. Then another, and another. We thought he had done it. Freed us all. Then when dawn came, Talus seized up suddenly like something had got a grip of him. We ran to help, but he just exploded. I got so much blood and pulp in my eyes. When I looked back, Carrion was just stood there, completely unharmed. If I knew that, I'd have tried to kill him myself. I know this is gonna sound strange, but I've been watching him, trying to figure it out, and I think he's a mummy lord. It's an ancient, evil being who refused to die, who cannot die. I used to hear about them in stories, and I can't think of another explanation. After Talus died, Carrion blindfolded me and took me into a strange place. A foul and ancient place. Somewhere the living wouldn't dare to tread. Down there, he showed me a jar. Said it contained the secret to eternal life. And if I behaved, he would share it with me. I think it was his heart. I'm not stupid. I know what he did to my friend. Gods, how I'd love to smash that bastard jar. That's how you kill mummy lords, you know. I'm not sure, but in the house, beneath Carrion's salon, there's a chamber. He never lets anyone down there, so it must be hiding something important. Perhaps it's there. But be careful if you return to Carrion. He'll know you spoke to me. Make sure he doesn't see or smell you. He'll turn you into one of us, and he'll know I sent you. I don't want to die like Talus did. I want to live. Well, you know what I mean. You came back. Please, tell me you found a way to destroy Mystic Carrion. What? His rotten heart was inside of me this whole time. Get it out. I have to get it out. That slimy bastard. He hid it in me the whole time. Please, take that foul thing and grind it to dust. You did? Then what are you waiting for? You must destroy the rest of him. Put that monster in the grave where he belongs. You did it. He's gone. He's really gone. I don't know how to thank you. We can finally be free. Here, please take this. I think it's valuable. And I won't need it. Not now Carrion's gone. Yes. I think I'll pick up where Carrion left off. A city like this needs a medium.
I will get a bedroom of my own now. I can keep lovely things in it for when Sister can visit.
A toast to your kindness and to Carrion rotting in his grave.
Think Carrion's corpse would make a good punching bag?
Oscar! Where is he? Where is he? Who are you? Get out! Get out!
Please, Carrie, my darling, listen to me.
You brought me here. You did this. Do not interfere. He's coming home with me. Another one who wants to control me. He called me here. Trapped me. Pathetic little childish boy.
I only wished to explain myself to make you see how...
No! Enough of your whining. Enough! Selfish, arrogant bastard of an artist. I wanted to be left in peace. And how does that help me? Or is it just to help him? Why does everything always have to revolve around Oscar Beverus?
Oh, my sweet Carrie. What did I do to you?
Save your tears for the ethereal plane. What are you saying? You're trying to confuse me. It's so hard to think. I don't remember.
Carrie, my sweet meat. I just need to know that what you did, that it wasn't my fault.
Why am I here? I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be.
The spirit's aura flickers, changes. She is confused, lost, dragged here unwillingly by a man who refused to let her leave.
Fine. If Oscar wants the truth, he can have it. We were a fling, nothing more. My decision had nothing to do with him. I did this because I was so fucking sad. All the time. Oscar finds it easier to imagine a world where women kill themselves over him than one where they have their own bloody problems.
I'm sorry, Carrie. I had no idea. But I was truly not to blame.
No, you weren't. So you and your poxy paintings stay away from me! We're done, Oscar. Over. Now let me rest in bloody peace.
Gods, what a mess I've made of it all. My sweet Ferelia. I've been a rotten fool, haven't I? And yet you never left my side.
It will take more than a ghost to scare me away. Though I wish you'd come to me sooner. I'm no fool. I know Oscar loved another when we met. But when we made our vows, I meant them.
Throughout my ordeal, I saw how tenderly you cared for me. Even at my worst, you never left my side. Truly, you were the one who saved me. I'm so sorry, my darling. A debt I'll spend a lifetime repaying. As for you, my noble friend, our account can be settled far more quickly. Come upstairs to my atelier. I promise you'll leave with something priceless. Immortality.
So, first you save my husband, then you save our marriage. I can't tell you how grateful I am. I'm afraid when one falls in love with an artist, such drama comes with the territory. Needless to say, Oscar won't be having anything more to do with the supernatural. One possession is quite enough for any marriage. You must take up his offer. Go to his atelier, sit for him. Then perhaps you will understand what I see in him, flawed as he is.
Here he is, the hero of the hour. Brushes are oiled, the canvas prepped, and you... Well, you're comfortable. That's the main thing. So, shall we begin? No, of course not. As an artist, I want to capture your true essence in this portrait. Bloodstains and all. Oh, of course, if you do want to freshen up first, I'm more than happy to wait. After all, it will be seen by generations to come. Wonderful. Stand yourself just there, and voila! All it needs now is a name. Something to capture the spirit in which it was created. Perhaps not the thing you'll be remembered for, but a fine quality nonetheless. Adds a certain mystique, I think. Please, take it in for a moment. It's not every day one's face is preserved for posterity.